problem. Thank you all. Happy to be here. I'm trying to figure out where I should be because of the pillars. My name is Adam Audette, and I'm very happy to be here talking about something that I've never spoken about at a digital marketing or research conference. Let's start here. Digital mind. Yes, it's kind of trite to say. There's right brain, there's left brain. It's all about that. The right brain is all about qualitative, nuance, subtlety, people skills, creativity. The left brain is all about quantitative, analytical, data-driven, logical, rational. And the key thing, and the thing that I love about this industry, is that we get to use both sides. We really do. Truly, we get to use both sides. And we need to use both sides, I believe, to develop our careers and our personal growth. Because ultimately, our career, our business, our work, our relationships are simply reflections of our own personal growth. And that's what life is all about. So before I start, to set a little context, I arrived here in this room talking to you right now on a very winding and circuitous path. I was in my late 20s, having no clue what I wanted to do in life. You could call me a late bloomer, which is just a nice way to say I had no idea who the hell I wanted to be. I had 180 credits from university, but no clear path to a degree because I switched my degree path about 4 times. I was a rock climber for 10 years, living in the dirt, smoking pot, not contributing to the world, just kind of existing, thinking it had meaning. But you know what? It didn't have any meaning. It was just about being self-centered. It's just about trying to please myself. And I finally kind of got my feet under me, and I got married, and I started an agency, and then I built it up, and then I spoke at BrightEdge, Share, I don't think it was called Share, in 2010. And then I sold that agency to a paid search company called RKG. And then we built SEO inside of that, and we sold it in 2014 to an agency called Merkle. And this year, Merkle was acquired in majority investment by Dentsu. All a crazy ride, and I'm still trying to figure it out. So I'm striving, like we're all striving. I don't have any answers. All I have is experiences. And I want to talk about the kind of leadership things that I've seen in people around me that I've learned from, that I'm trying to process and put into my life and in my practice. And I call them career hacks. And yes, that's a Rubik's Cube. Did I mention I'm a nerd? I'm really into puzzles and problem solving on this kind of stuff. And I started thinking about this presentation, and I realized it's a great opportunity to kind of think about myself and how I think, which is very logically and analytically and pragmatically. But then I have to put together the human side and the heart and the intuition on top of that, and that's how it's effective. And this is why this is relevant. Does anyone know what that is? Rubik's Cubes and then the notation below those? R, U prime, R prime, Dixon? Algorithms, speed cubing. And there are tons of algorithms that if you want to learn how to do a Rubik's Cube quickly, you learn these algorithms. And these are very left-brained. It's all math, or our UK friends, as they say, maths. It's all physics. It's all super left-brained. It's all super analytical. I love it. It's so data-driven. It's so logical. They work every single time in every single case. But the funny thing about them is that once you learn them, the way that they're most effective is for you to put them into your muscle memory and become intuitive with them so that you don't have to think anymore about them. You've just transcended from the left brain to the right brain. And I feel that that is a key to life, is a key to sports and athletics, is a key to business, it's a key to relationships, it's a key to personal growth. So I want to talk about that. These 8 sort of career algorithms, if you will, why I think they're effective and why they matter and how powerful they are, and then how you connect them back to the heart and your sincerity. So let's get started. Number 1, do. There are doers in the world, there are not doers in the world, there's every nuance in between. The reason doing is so powerful and important is because when you do, and you do it for the value of doing it, you have just become a positive impact in the area that you're doing it, even if it doesn't fit your job description. If you're someone that people recognize as a doer, you are helping and you're not asking for recognition, you're effectively creating this positive kind of surround sound about yourself, and you're going to be recognized more and more as someone that can get things done. It's easy to float by and coast. It is. And in big corporations, it's easy to hide sometimes. It's harder to do things for others, even if you have to stretch a little bit. as Dave was talking about. Help somebody even if it's not on your job description, even if you don't get the credit back to you. Empowerment, number 2. So important. If you're in a leadership position, your responsibility and accountability is to the team that works for you and reports to you. You work for them. They work for you, but it's reciprocal, and you are accountable to them. We had a saying, and I learned this from George Mickey, the co-founder of RKG, years ago, and I've kind of put it into my life. The idea of making yourself replaceable. If you're in a leadership position and you empower those around you on your team that work for you, and you delegate to them and truly try to build them up, make them grow and fly and thrive, now suddenly you have become free to do the next thing and grow yourself. So by lifting those up around you and empowering those around you, you are effectively creating that springboard for your own career and your own self. And it may sound a little bit trite, it's very true. And great leaders are great empowerers. Those are the ones that you want to align yourself to. Crappy leaders are micromanagers, and they stifle your growth. And what's going to happen is that you're going to escape from those people, and they're going to have a crappy career, you hope, right? Karma. Number 3 is effort. There is no shortcut to this one. It just takes hard work, period. We talk a lot about, in life, we talk about work-life balance. And it is important to have balance. I'm a Libra, so I really need a lot of balance. But the thing is, what I've realized as I've gotten older, and I'm 46, is that there isn't really a separation between work and life and family and friends and fun and games and Rubik's Cubes and politics. Like, it's all life. And I feel like I am most effective if my business and my life are the same thing. And they are. We all think about Monday through Friday, and on Friday I'm like, yes, it's Friday. Now I got to compartmentalize and have the weekend. I'm going to seize the weekend, and then, I'm going to go back to, oh shit, I got to back to work on Monday. Case of the Mondays. I try never to have a case of the Mondays. But that's a mental construct. Really, true effort is in everything you do in every moment. Everything you're doing, putting your whole self into it. A pertinent example of effort and what it can do is think of Rand Fishkin in the industry. He's a brilliant guy, but he works so hard. He's put out Whiteboard Fridays for years, consistently. He's consistently speaking, and it's important to him to do that and have that platform and be out there. But it just takes hard work. 90% of it is just showing up, to be honest. And that brings me to the next one, number 4, follow. Follow great leaders. In your career, you're going to come upon people that are micromanagers and poor leaders. You're going to come on people that are great leaders. In 2000, I joined Tony Hsieh. I was fortunate enough to know him. It was luck. He said, hey man, you want to start an email discussion list with me? I'm going to join this new startup. We're going to sell shoes online. I can't pay you, but I'll give you a little bit of stock that might be worthless. It's called Zappos. Just come try it. I said, okay, I'm going to do that because Tony's brilliant, and I know that if I follow him, that's going to lead to opportunity. He already proved it when he sold his company to MSN for $350 million in 1999. And he's a great leader. And that's happened again in my life with other great leaders, that when you identify those people, and we all have, think of how can I provide value, or how can I learn, or how can I watch and see, or how can I align myself to that? Tap into that. It's very powerful. Number 5 is the tortoise. Life, building a career in anything in life is all about little steps, and it is all about that turtle and that consistency. And I said 90% of it is just showing up, and it's true. When you really think about it, you don't need to be brilliant every single day, and you're not going to be. You just need to be there consistently, reliably, trying your best, putting your heart into it, and that's going to take you so far. The hare is, the analogy with Aesop's fable is like the hare is running around everywhere crazily, super fast, going this way, going that way, and the tortoise is just cruising along little by little, knowing that every step he's getting closer. Build on your successes, build on your hard work and everything that comes with it, little by little, and think of it as a long-term investment into yourself that will pay rewards out in the end. Number 6, and this is a huge one, vulnerability. Brené Brown, The power of letting the world see who you are inside. This idea that life is full of disappointment. We don't get promotions that we wanted. We get looked over for jobs and roles and opportunities. At an agency, we get fired by our great client that we love. At a brand, we get disappointed by the shitty agency that we hired. There's disappointment all over the place. And the reaction, then it's human nature to say, oh man, I'm just gonna kind of close off. I'm gonna build up some callousness. I'm gonna numb myself to this because it's just too hard and depressing. I'm just gonna kind of get callous built up about this. And then we forget vulnerability and its power. We shortchange our ability to open and say, you know what? I tried, I didn't get it. Maybe I wasn't good enough and somebody else was. I'm not gonna blame it on anybody else. I'm gonna try again. Let the world see you, who you are. Don't be afraid of that. We're all worth it in our own ways. Just try and keep trying. This is my secret superpower. And I watch the video from Brené Brown probably once a month or so, just to remind myself, yeah. And she's got a bunch of academic research behind this for years, for decades. And it's true. Number 7 is help. If you think about it, the way that a person is defined in business is their impact on those around them, their teams, their departments, the company as a whole. It's all about how you help, really. And we tend to think competitively in business because we're competitive, and we all are, and I put myself included into that. But really it's about how I help someone, thereby helping the company, etc. It's not about being defined by a title or a brand that I work for or a logo around my neck or the car that I drive. It's being defined by my relationships with those around me and my impact on them in a positive or negative way. That's who I am. When we think about how important this is, there's this difference between title and role. Role is what you actually do and what you're responsible for. And that's the most important thing. And that sometimes is your role is defined by a job description, and you're doing a lot more outside of that as well. Title is simply a label put onto that. And we make a mistake sometimes as human beings of thinking that title means something just by itself. And that title gives me entitlement or rank over someone. Far from it. The higher title you have, the more responsible you are to have humility, have vulnerability, have empowerment, be a true leader, reach down around you and bring people up. It's all about help. And finally, last but not least, fortune. And you're probably thinking fortune is Vanna White and Pat Sajak, Wheel of Fortune. And you're absolutely right. No, just kidding. This sort of a ancient idea of luck, the power of luck in the world. In America, we discount the idea of luck and fortune. In Europe and other parts of the world, they recognize the power of luck and fortune. And the idea is we can't control our fortune in many ways. It goes up, it goes down, it goes all around. But we can control when we identify it and what we do with it. There's blind luck and smart luck. Blind luck is, whoa, I just picked up $10 on the road. Sweet. Blind luck is, oh, cool, that's great. That's a great opportunity. Awesome, I deserve that. I'm not going to do anything about it. Smart luck is, hey, there's an opportunity in front of me. I'm going to stretch and take a leap for it, and I'm going to seize it and capitalize on the opportunity. Fortune plays a huge part in our lives. It was fortunate for me to have known Tony Hsieh and join Zappos. I capitalized on it. It was fortunate of me to randomly meet a co-founder of RKG at a search conference years ago. I had to capitalize on that and make mistakes along the way, and probably didn't do a very good job in a lot of ways, but always trying harder and trying again. Fortune plays a huge part in our lives, and it happens all the time. And at a conference like this, all the time these little synchronicities are happening. It's up to us to capitalize on those. All right, so those are the 8 career algos. Be a doer, empower others, put true effort to it, follow the great leaders that you come across. You're a turtle, not a hare. Be vulnerable and let the world see you. Help others and capitalize on your good fortune. Now, all of that is great. All of it makes sense, but if you think about it, those are all very qualitative things. So while I think of them as algorithms and try to be very logical and rational about it, it's really all about the heart. Your heart is the key. You already know intuitively that this stuff is good and that this stuff works and that this stuff makes people happy. Think of one of the greatest thinkers in our generation, Albert Einstein, an amazing rational mind and logical mind and scientist. And one of his quotes, the only really valuable thing is intuition. He went on to say, intuition is a great master, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. Always think about that, the power of intuition. The question is, will you listen to it? Thank you very much.